So here are 5 mistakes that students generally make while studying ACCA. Now in this, I'm not going to talk about the usual mistakes which you'll have heard. For example, that all the studying that you do, you can't just read. You've got to practice it actually in paper. That's important. Second, do not practice it on paper. Practice it on the laptop or on your Excel and Word, which is how you'll actually have to appear for your exam. A lot of people practice how to crack the sums on paper, but then when the time comes, they just go unhead with never having given an entire mock exam on Excel or on Word, and then they just are so uncomfortable putting everything down on the computer that they'll end up not clearing the exam. Another very common mistake, which is not going to be in the list of top 5, is putting more effort on the study text than the exam or revision kit, which means you read and try to understand concepts more than actually trying to apply them in questions and past exam papers. All these are common. All these apply to not just ACCA, but all professional qualifications. So for these reasons, right, another major point is that people generally selective study, right? They start thinking that I can skip this, or if I know this, then it's fine. It's a recipe for disaster. So the top 5 mistakes that students make will not include these common ones, but they needed a special mention. Mistake number 1, people think that there is a difference in the way the practical aspect, which is the number crunching and the solving the sums, the numbers aspect, is different in ACCA from the theoretical aspect. Specifically, if you've grown up and studied under the Indian system, where theory means writing long answers and calculations, or practical, the word practical means you are writing or calculating sums. That's not the way these professional qualifications work, right? What happens is, once you learn a concept, you don't have to only learn the formulas, because in the real world, formulas are all going to be given to you, whether through Calcs or Excel or even just plain simple the internet. The point about this is understanding what problem these formulas are solving, and that can be explained either through numbers or in writing. Right? If I ask you to explain me what time value of money means, not solve it. Explaining time value of money, solving the sum on time value of money, both essentially come down to your understanding of it, and that is what is important in ACCA. Just because you can solve the sum, but you can't answer the logic behind it, will not get you any marks, and vice versa. People are used to thinking that theory means just rote learn and mug up a lot of things and pour it in the paper. Nobody gives you marks in the real world because of that, right? You have to be able to understand the scenario, use all your knowledge of what you studied, and break the scenario down, right? Analyze the scenario, hopefully give some solution based on the knowledge you have, because that's where the real value in the real world is. And that's how they mark you in ACCA. So you might have to solve a sum, you might have to explain the sum with words, with logic, which is what we call theory. But the mentality should be completely broken when you approach ACCA. There is no practical and theory. It is all based on application of your knowledge, and the numbers of the words should make zero difference to you guys. Mistake number 2, a lot of people either over or underestimate the number of papers they can give in a year, right? So just because you feel that you're in college and you just give your 12th grade exams, you want to take it a little slow. Somebody wants to take it extremely fast because they're in the momentum of studying. Some people are working or feel that Monday to Saturday, they spend 8-10 hours at the office, which means they have to give really, they have to give the exams in a slow manner. All of that, when you try to decide upfront for yourself whether you should give 4 papers a year, 8 papers a year, all of that, it becomes a disaster. The simple goal which everybody should have is, you should look at, on an average, completing 6 papers in 1 year. That's the answer, right? Now, because exams are every quarter, you can give 2 papers 1 quarter, then 1, then 2, then 1 again. You can give 2 papers in a quarter when you're free, then take 1 and 1, and then another, your choice of a combination. Of course, sometimes you might have to land up giving 5 papers a year or 7 papers if you have more free time, but 6 a year is a good estimate to put for yourself. This way you'll also complete ACCA within or probably less than 2.5 years. Mistake number 3, the importance of completing 100% of your paper in the exam. meaning attempting every question that comes, is better than solving 80% perfectly. I guarantee that if somebody is giving, is not going to have the time to finish 20% of the paper, but the 80% they've really invested the accurate amount of time by putting in the answers in depth, versus somebody who just ensures that they'll end up writing the right answers, but for 100% of the paper, this person has a higher chance of clearing. It all comes down to time management, and this is an absolutely horrendous mistake that a lot of students make. When you open the paper, you tend to answer the questions which you know more and the other ones less. You don't sort of keep time as the neutral check whether you should spend more time here or less time here. So time management and completing 100% of the paper is absolutely crucial. Mistake number 4. This is primarily for knowledge level students. Then the first 4 exams of ACCA are on demand, which means that as soon as you are prepared, you have the liberty to give the exams whenever you want. Now, the right way to look at it is that the faster you study, the faster you can give the exam. The first 4 papers, you can speed it up, right? On an average, the first 4 papers, you can even complete all of them within 6 months. And if you want to go a little slow, you can probably stretch it up to a year. Unfortunately, the fact that it's on demand, students mistaken that as an advantage and turn it into a disadvantage by non-stop dragging themselves, procrastinating the actual exam. They keep telling themselves, no, I want to study for a week more or 2 weeks more, or something else in the future is coming up. College exams are coming up, or I have some personal event after which I'll really sit to study, and they land up I got a call a couple of days back from one of our students' parent who was really upset that the child was not taking advantage of the exams being on demand, and instead taking more and more time to say that, okay, I'll give it next week and next week and next week. So the push, which either has to come from our end or from the student's own mentality, is absolutely crucial. Do not assume that on demand means you can give it anytime. Use that as an advantage to say that if it's on demand, I'm going to give it at the earliest because I can, rather than having to wait for an exam date. And mistake number 5, when you are looking at the past papers and you're trying to predict what are the kind of question that will come in the next paper, right? You're trying to, it sort of goes a little bit into the selective studying aspect, where you tell yourself that, okay, I'm going to study more about this because in the last 4 attempts, this topic came more. Do not do that. Do not try to predict a trend with ACCA or with any of the professional qualifications. They expect us to know everything, and the questions they ask, it might be that it's frequently asked in the last few attempts, but it won't come in yours, especially if you're trying to predict it. It's a horrible mistake. Study everything, try and be prepared for everything. While your primary goal is to pass the exam, the objective of you studying is that you understand how the field of finance and accounts work, and selectively studying or trying to score better by focusing more on certain topics based on the past papers is not worth the effort you guys are putting in. Do not make that mistake. So these are the 5 top mistakes that according to us are not the common mistakes, but yet we've seen a consistent pattern among students. If there are other things which you think are mistakes which others should avoid, please put it in the comments, and otherwise please like, subscribe and share.